Good evening, this is Viewpoint. I'm Saga Jacob. Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has ruled himself out from the race to be the next Congress president. Now, with this, the so-called Gandhi family candidate seems to have bowed out, which means the race now boils down to between Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor. They are the only two people who have officially said that they are standing to be the next Congress president. The nominations close tomorrow. The question that's being raised is this: who then becomes the establishment candidate? How did the High Command completely overestimate its own power with loyalists like Gehlot? And what happens to Sachin Pilot's dreams of becoming Chief Minister? But first, the story of how Ashok Gehlot, after a meeting with Sonia Gandhi today, ruled himself out from the Congress president's race.
कल परसों की घटना हुई है और मेरी मॉरल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी कि वो प्रताप पार्क होता, तो मैंने तय किया है अब मैं इस माहौल के अंदर चुनाव नहीं लड़ूंगा.
After finding himself out of favour with the Gandhis, the one-time favourite has ruled himself out of Congress's president race. 4 days after a rebellion in the party's Rajasthan unit over Ashok Gehlot being possibly replaced by his arch-rival Sachin Pilot as Chief Minister, Gehlot landed up in Delhi to meet Sonia Gandhi, who advised him not to contest.
मैंने सोनिया जी से भी सॉरी फील किया है, माफी मांगी है, तो मेरी मॉरल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि एक मुख्यमंत्री होने के बावजूद भी मैं एक प्रस्ताव, एक लाइन का जो हमारी परंपरा है, पहली बार वो परंपरा के अंतर्गत वो प्रस्ताव पास नहीं होगा.
With Gehlot bowing out, the race for a new non-Gandhi Congress president comes down to these two men for now. One is seen as a staunch Gandhi loyalist, the other is a member of the G23. While Shashi Tharoor had already declared his candidature and is expected to file his nomination on Friday, Digvijay Singh finally ended the suspense by picking up the nomination papers.
हम लोगों का पूरा प्रयास रहा कि राहुल जी हमारे नए राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बने. वो नहीं बनते हैं तो प्रियंका जी बने. लेकिन जब परिवार ने बिल्कुल तय कर लिया कि बिल्कुल हम किसी हालत में नहीं लड़ेंगे चुनाव, तो फिर फील्ड खुली है, जिसको लड़ना है लड़े.
Whether more names will pop up or who will become the Congress president is still a wait-and-watch game. The only thing that's certain is that it's the first time in over 20 years that a Gandhi won't be in the top post. Another person whose fate remains uncertain is Sachin Pilot. He has been long waiting his moment in Rajasthan, but has always been blocked by Team Gehlot. Even after the latest maneuver by Gehlot's MLAs, there was no action taken against the Rajasthan Chief Minister. While Gehlot is out of the Congress president race, he continues to reign over Rajasthan, which means that Pilot has once again been hung out to dry. So is another desert storm only a matter of time? Has the Gandhis' inability to get a grip on the party been exposed once again? And will a new Congress president be able to fix the multitude of problems that the party is facing?
And we've got some very interesting breaking news right at the top of Viewpoint. Now that Gehlot has pulled out of the race to be Congress president, is his job as Rajasthan Chief Minister still in danger? Because is there still hope for Sachin Pilot? K.C. Venugopal, the Organisation General Secretary of the Congress Party, has come out and said that a decision on the Rajasthan Chief Minister will be taken in the next couple of days. Sources tell CNN News 18 that another CLP meeting is likely to be called in which a one-line resolution could be passed authorizing Sonia Gandhi to decide who will be Chief Minister. Let's play out that soundbite of K.C. Venugopal and then I'll go across to Pallavi Ghosh.
Congress president is going to be a neutral in this election. Let us wait for the nominations. We will get a clear-cut picture tomorrow evening. No, I cannot say anything. That decision of Chief Minister of Rajasthan will be decided by the Congress president within 1 or 2 days. That's all.
Right, Pallavi Ghosh, so what does this mean? When Ashok Gehlot met Sonia Gandhi earlier this afternoon, came out and said that he's ruling himself out of the Congress president's race, then it seemed like he gets to keep the Chief Minister's job, which is what he perhaps always wanted to do, and then somebody else, whoever has decided to fight for the Congress president's post and goes ahead and wins, will become the Congress president. But now, if K.C. Venugopal is to be believed, Mr. Gehlot's job as Rajasthan Chief Minister may also not be guaranteed.
And in fact, I think that indication also came in from Mr. Ashok Gehlot when he came out of the meeting with Sonia Gandhi, where he said that a decision on a chief minister is something which is going to be left to Mrs. Gandhi. But I think K.C. Venugopal saying that becomes even more significant because he's been huddled in a meeting with Sonia Gandhi since morning, and he's of course the organizational general secretary. What we are picking up by way of our indications is that there's no closure to it yet. However, it also doesn't mean that Gehlot is going to be removed immediately as a chief minister. There's a possibility of a CLP meeting, we are told, in a couple of days. A one-line resolution will again be passed authorizing Sonia Gandhi to take a final call. See, let's also not forget the Sachin Pilot factor. He's very much sitting over here. He also has asked for time from Sonia Gandhi. He's likely to meet her today or possibly tomorrow morning. And he's also going to make that point that I have been repeatedly assured that I'll become the chief minister. If not now, then what's the point of making me a lame duck chief minister? These are the nitty-gritties. But also, Zaka, the worry is that Gehlot is no Captain Amrinder Singh who was being deserted by his MLAs.
Yeah.
Gehlot has a grip over his MLAs. It's not going to be an easy decision really for Sonia Gandhi to take.
Oh, absolutely. As of last Sunday, when that previous CLP meeting was called for, at least 90 MLAs are supporting Ashok Gehlot. Of course, a lot can change in a week, but we'll leave it at that. We'll see how the story plays out. Pallavi Ghosh, for the moment, many thanks for joining us. Let's open this up. Neeti Jain is BJP spokesperson, Suman Raman, political analyst, Advaita Kala, author and political analyst, and Nirja Chaudhary, senior journalist, will also be joining us. Neeti Jain, first things first, the BJP's line of attack against this Congress president election was whoever is going to be the next Congress president is going to be a puppet, is going to be remote controlled by 10 Janpath. And the person most likely to have been seen as a Gandhi loyalist, Ashok Gehlot, has now ruled himself out from that race. So this attack line that, let's say, between a Digvijay Singh and a Shashi Tharoor, and they are the only two known candidates as of today, neither of them would be called a puppet of 10 Janpath?
Are you sure about that, Zaka? Because, see, the point is that for any change to happen, there needs to be an acceptance that something needs to be changed. So when Digvijay ji was just talking, he just said, we want Rahul Gandhi to be the president. If that's not possible, let Priyanka Gandhi be the president. If that is also not possible, then I'll consider getting in somewhere. There is no acceptance. There is no need for a change that any of these people are saying. The people who were looking for a change have been sidelined as a G23 or they have left the party. So these people who are still in the race are the people who have the complete support or at least a confidence of 10 Janpath. I don't see anything.
Let me just qualify why I said what I said. First of all, Mr. Shashi Tharoor was officially part of the G23, so I don't know how much confidence of 10 Janpath he has. And secondly, as far as Mr. Digvijay Singh is concerned, it is true that there was a point of time many years ago where he was very, very close to Rahul Gandhi. The prevailing wisdom as of today is that they'd had a fallout some years ago and things were not the way it used to be. So neither of them is seen, let's say, for want of an example, in the same league in terms of closeness to the powers that be as, let's say, an Ashok Gehlot was. That was a limited point.
So, see, again, the point is Ashok Gehlot was directly being referred by 10 Janpath, and that is in itself a reason that 10 Janpath wants somebody who is in complete control of them to be part of that. There is still time for people to file in the nomination. So let's not draw a line today that this is it and these are the two people. Maybe there would be an added addition or somebody else who could come in via the 10 Janpath routes. That could still happen. But the essential point being that need for a change is still not being seen from the state presidents to the cadre to everybody. They still want Rahul Gandhi to come in. Rahul Gandhi for some reason is not interested. So this is an entire party of reluctant politicians anymore. Ashok Gehlot was being coronated, but he's not interested anymore.
The fundamental point, and I like the way you say the 10 Janpath route, because to get to 24 Akbar Road, you need to go through 10 Janpath. But let me ask Suman Raman. One thing is this entire episode starting from last Sunday when the CLP meeting was called for, and that turned out to be a fiasco, and all the way up until today when Mr. Gehlot said, I'm not running to be Congress president, this entire fiasco was completely avoidable. All that the High Command needed to ask Mr. Gehlot was, are you interested in the Congress president's job? Do you want to be Congress president, or do you want to continue as chief minister? Because if you're wanting to continue as chief minister, there's no point going through this whole charade. And at the end of the day, this charade has just rendered the High Command looking like a bunch of incompetent chaps, because they clearly underestimated Mr. Gehlot's clout within the legislature party.
Zaka, I would not think that even the Congress leadership, even the present Congress leadership, would be so colossally incompetent to have not discussed this issue with Mr. Gehlot. I think Mr. Gehlot pulled a fast one. He overplayed his hand. I think the plan which would have been discussed was for Mr. Gehlot to step down and the High Command to take a decision on his successor. At some point, when it appeared that Sachin Pilot would be the choice of the High Command, I think Mr. Gehlot decided to pull a fast one, and this is the reason for the fiasco. They are now furious with Mr. Gehlot, which is why he has said, I went and said sorry, and so on. The point is very clear. The Congress High Command does not have a clear candidate. Even Mr. Gehlot was sort of, pulled in kicking and screaming because he was certainly not keen on taking up the job. So it's a sad, story today that nobody wants to head India's largest party. I mean, largest in terms of oldest and most famous political party over the decades. The point one is Digvijay Singh fell out with Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhis in a larger sense, which is why you saw him being sidelined even in Madhya Pradesh. When you remember, Zaka, Digvijay Singh at one point was the face of the Congress party in Madhya Pradesh. And then what happened? Kamal Nath came in and Kamal Nath became the chief minister. Mr. Digvijay Singh was actually pushed to almost a number 3 spot behind Jyotiraditya Scindia. Kamal Nath versus Jyotiraditya Scindia was really the contest there.
Yeah.
And Mr. Digvijay Singh was virtually and also ran in his own state. So I think that he is certainly not going to be a hugely popular choice, even should the High Command want to anoint him. Shashi Tharoor at least appeals to some very, very small segment, but he's seen as too elitist. So how the Congress cadre would respond to him, especially in the Hindi belt, when he's not a leader from the Hindi belt, also makes it a very difficult choice. And I was thinking, why couldn't they think potentially of Sachin Pilot himself? Why could Sachin Pilot not be, he's young, he's from the Hindi belt, taking him out and making him a national president takes him out of the hair of Ashok Gehlot during the remaining of his term as Rajasthan chief minister. But that's not even been spoken, because I don't think that after his rebellion in 2020, the Gandhis have any kind of significant confidence in Sachin Pilot as being a total loyalist to them.
Okay, so let me ask Hemant Attri. Hemant, now that Mr. Gehlot is not in the running to be Congress president, and yet we have heard from K.C. Venugopal just within the last hour that the decision on who is going to be the Rajasthan chief minister will be taken by the Congress president. There will be a one-line resolution passed by the CLP, whenever it's called, in the next day or so. Is there still a chance that Mr. Gehlot may not remain as chief minister of Rajasthan, and maybe some other candidate, either his loyalist or maybe even Sachin Pilot, could be appointed by the High Command as the next chief minister of Rajasthan?
No, Zaka. If at all, K.C. Venugopal and the company, that includes Ajay Makan also, they again try to remove Mr. Gehlot. One thing is for sure, that they will not allow the next appointee to even pass through the confidence motion, or what you call it. Initially, what Mr. Ashok Gehlot was saying, basically this is a fiasco created at somebody's behest through Mr. Ajay Makan. See, what was the issue? Mr. Gehlot was, anointed by Congress President as well as Rahul Gandhi to go for the Congress President election. He had not even filed his nomination, and all of a sudden there becomes a theory that he should be, replaced by somebody. And in the meantime, Gehlot, being a seasoned politician, he got to know that they are going to replace him with Mr. Sachin Pilot. So immediately he swung into action, and whatever we are seeing on the TV things, but he has said, I feel sorry, this and that. No, this was all orchestrated by him as well as his team. And they are still on the same page that if at all, quote unquote, if at all, High Command wants to make Mr. Sachin Pilot as the chief minister, confidence motion his government cannot get it. Take it from me. Okay. He is very, very particular. Gehlot is not a new player. He is a seasoned one. And he knows what he has sacrificed. He has sacrificed Congress president post for the sake of a chief ministership only for 14 months. He is not a kid. It is
No,
a
no. So
calculated
explain
game.
that. Explain that to us. Why would somebody who's been multiple times chief minister? It's not like it's a new post to him. Why would he want to be in that post for another remaining 12 or 14 months and give up what should be arguably the biggest position in the Congress party, that of Congress president? What sort of message does that send out to lakhs of Congress karyakartas? Basically, you're telling them कि किसी को नहीं बनना Congress president. अगर CM है तो that is a bigger post.
Zaka, the thing is, while you come as a Congress president in Delhi, it's a thorn, crown of thorns, and this gentleman Gehlot knows it fully well. See, he was ready to resign from the chief ministership on one very simple thing, that some of his colleagues, some of his favored ones, if he was made the chief minister, he would have been more than happy to skip to the Congress presidentship. But Congress High Command again decided to go Sachin Pilot's way.
Okay.
And this thing he cannot afford. At
Okay,
any
so let me
cost,
ask
he could not
Advaita. So,
afford today.
Mr. Gehlot has, as they say, उन्होंने तो पत्ते खोल दिए हैं. What is the High Command going to do? Because so far we only have these two candidates, Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor, and as was outlined by both Sumant and Hemant Atri, neither of them seems to be in the so-called inside camp of the Gandhi family. So, is the Gandhi family saying we don't care who becomes the Congress president, or would the BJP's line of attack that this candidate, whoever he or she may be, whoever goes on to become the next CP, will be a remote controlled by 10 Janpat? That will not apply because neither of them are perceived to be loyalists.
No, Zaka.
Advaita, please. Thank you.
Yes. Well, I mean, Zaka, I apologize for my connection. I missed some of the things that the other panelists had to say. But, viewing it from what's playing out in front of us, the first thing I would say as someone with some communications experience is that, the Congress has a major communication problem. They just know what message put out to the public. You have a Jodo Yatra, which is supposed to be your primary or your paramount outreach when it comes to the public. And that's ongoing. And then you have your Congress presidential election. So that shifts because Congress speaks like a sieve, right? So you know everything that's going on behind the scenes. And it's a far more interesting than a Bharat Jodo Yatra that has been in Kerala for now 20 days. You get involved in what's happening with the Congress presidential elections, and suddenly you have this Rajasthan old rivalry, which feels scarily like deja vu. And you have Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot once again at it, once again gathering their troops. So now you move on from the Congress presidential elections and you're focusing on the Rajasthan political crisis. And there's no concept, I think, of dousing things. Like when Ashok Gehlot traveled here, met with Sonia Gandhi, that should have been the end of it. But now you have K.C. Venugopal introducing the element of a possible change of chief ministership. So now we've forgotten the Congress presidential election. And guess what? We're going to be discussing who the new CM is going to be. Will Sachin Pilot always be the waiting man, or will he finally get his turn? So I think their messaging is so messed up that it's very hard for people to take this political party seriously, because they're just coming up with one crisis, one sensation after the other. And the process itself of Congress presidentship was something that the general public was very skeptical about. And even now, if you listen to that, the things that they're saying, Sonia Gandhi told Ashok Gehlot, you don't run for president. So he came out and he sort of said, I'm not going to do this anymore. So when you're determining candidates in a free and fair election, it should be on the candidate where they want to be, whether they want to stand or not stand. Okay. So I think, it's getting extremely convoluted. It's very hard to take this process seriously. And they are themselves kind of undercutting themselves. No one else is doing it. No,
the only clarity in all this messaging confusion is that I think we can fairly certainly say that no Gandhi is going to be contesting to be the Congress president. Maybe I might be forced to eat these words tomorrow if maybe, I don't know. I don't know. As of right now, Rahul Gandhi is scheduled to continue the Bharat Jodo Yatra into Karnataka tomorrow, unless he decides to take a flight and come to Delhi and file the nomination papers. But I think we're reasonably sure that no Gandhi is going to stand to be Congress president. The question then is about this cross-messaging, Sumant Raman. First of all, Bharat Jodo should not have happened in the middle of the election process, or vice versa. The election process should not have happened in the middle of Bharat Jodo. Already, whoever the next president is going to be, his or her thunder is being stolen by Bharat Jodo. The point
Yeah,
the point simply is that if the Congress party has any hopes or ambitions of taking on Mr. Modi in 2024, they need to start behaving like the principal opposition party. They need to start putting out messages that at least the party is on the same page. And as somebody from the BJP said, Rahul Gandhi is busy going around with Bharat Jodo, whereas what is actually happening is Congress Todo.
Yeah, I think, Zaka, before we get into this particular point, I just wanted to make one point on Rajasthan. I personally don't think they would try to destabilize Ashok Gehlot immediately, because almost surely the government will fall. Because Sachin Pilot, we saw, has 17 MLAs out of the 101, and the rest are all with Mr. Gehlot. So even if the Congress High Command does crack the whip, Mr. Gehlot can ensure enough MLAs are with him to ensure that Sachin Pilot does not form a government or win a confidence vote thereafter. So that part is ruled out, which is why it brings us back to the question that the Congress High Command may sulk and may feel angry and miffed about Ashok Gehlot, but I think that they will probably try to weaken him in the run-up to the elections rather than try for an abrupt change and lose yet another state government to the BJP. So I don't think that that's going to happen maybe in a week's time, as K.C. Venugopal said, because it makes zero sense for Ashok Gehlot. He would have lost the Congress president's post without contesting, and he would have lost his chief ministership as well. He's not going to give in without a fight. So that's point number one. As far as Rahul Gandhi, you will recall, Zaka, on one of our debates long ago, he said that this Bharat Jodo Yatra is meant effectively is more or less a projection of Rahul Gandhi. And if Rahul Gandhi is not going to play any further role, as far at least at the highest level, what is the logic in projecting him? It should have been the next, the incoming Congress president who should have been projected as part of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. So this has been a contradiction. I don't think any of them have thought through this whole thing. Bharat Jodo Yatra is built around Rahul Gandhi. Are we all agreed on that? We are.
Yeah, of course.
And if Rahul Gandhi is not going to play a key role in the affairs of the Congress party going forward, either from the front or from the back.
So the logic there, I mean, again, I don't necessarily buy the logic, but Niti Jain, the logic being given by Congress folks and folks close to Rahul Gandhi is the principal attack of the BJP, and the Prime Minister no less has said this, as recently as the Independence Day speech that he made, that dynastic politics is one of the banes of Indian public life. And nobody represents dynastic politics more than Rahul Gandhi does. But if no Gandhi is the next Congress president, then it blunts that attack to some extent. Niti Jain.
No, so picking up on Sumanji's point again, Zaka, the point is that Rahul Gandhi is still being projected as the it-all and be-all of Congress party. No matter what is happening in the elections in Rajasthan, it is Rahul Gandhi that is being projected as the Congress party's face. And whatever said and done, the Gandhis are not going to let go of the reins of the party, because the party is going to fall apart if there is no Gandhi at the helm of affairs. And this is what every congressman knows, this fact. So the Gandhis are not going to let go of the reins. So let's just wait and watch who is coming via the 10 Janpath route. And let's not draw a line today on any of this matter.
All right, final word, Hemant. Will there be a surprise third candidate in the next 24 hours?
See, Zaka, should I break something good for you?
Good, I don't know, but you can surely break. Yeah.
There are two theories going around. One is Mr. Digvijay Singh and this gentleman Shashi Tharoor will be filing a nomination.
Yes.
And a few surprises also who are nobodies. They may also file their nominations tomorrow. And in next 8 days, all of them except for Mr. Digvijay will withdraw on the last day of withdrawal. And that's how Congress will control the whole damage. And you will find one Digvijay Singh who has been elected unanimous. That is the theory going around, the whole fiasco which is going on.
Let's see how this story plays out. I've got to wrap up. Thanks very much, Niti Jain, Sumant Raman, Hemant Attri and Advait Hakala for joining us. As we move on to the next show, don't forget to vote for your favorite startup, the unicorn that you feel deserves to be the Indian Startup of the Year. Go to indianoftheyear.com and vote. Anusha will join you just in a moment.